Hello everybody, Phenomenal Sir here, back with another episode of The First 15, the series where I play the first 15 minutes of new or underexposed indie games, and then share my thoughts and feelings about them. Today, we have up Immortal Saga. Immortal Saga is a strategy RPG that is heavily inspired by the Fire Emblem series. It follows the continent-spanning story of a young lord's quest to save her father from imprisonment and bring justice back to her lands. So this game is currently listed as being in development. It is in beta, so only part 1 of the game is currently playable. It was published 2 days ago and was updated 7 hours ago. So, without further ado, let's fire up Immortal Saga and see what it has to offer, shall we? The reason I didn't fire it up before I started my video was because when I turned it on, it's got some music that tends to have a little bit of a crescendo to it, and I wanted to make sure you could enjoy it. So, let's see. There's a lot of options in here. It's definitely already more fleshed out than a lot of games that are this new that you see, just based on all the stuff you can do here. I don't know what any of them do yet, obviously, so I'm not going to mess with them, but oh, escape closes it. It's okay, it loads fast. Alright, so 15 minutes on the clock, and without further ado, our Immortal Saga begins. This is a beta version of Immortal Saga. Bugs and visual oddities are very expected. I'm going to do classic mode. If you're new to strategy RPGs like this, or you just want a refresher course, perhaps you would benefit from viewing the tutorial. Well, sure, it's been I think the last strategy RPG in the Fire Emblem vein that I've played was probably on the Game Boy Advance, and it was probably Fire Emblem, the one with Lendis, whatever her name is. So, definitely, show me the tutorial. Well, it definitely reminds me of Fire Emblem. I like the look of it. It looks very cute. I'm guessing this is like an arena or something. Hello, welcome to the Immortal Saga. I, Leona, will be your humble guide through this tutorial that will hopefully help you get the most out of your playthrough. This tutorial will not cover everything, but it should help with the very basics of gameplay. First of all, let's say hi to Mandy. Say hi, Mandy. Oh, hello, hi, that'll do, Mandy. Whew, I'm not used to this sort of thing. Summon the beast! What beast? Savage beast, Mandy. Mandy, meet the savage beast. Isn't this a bit much for a tutorial? You'll be fine. Okay, let's get down to the basics. Mandy, you may notice that this arena is divided into a grid pattern. Each square on the grid requires 1 movement point to traverse. These movement points get refreshed at the start of the player phase each turn. You can only move once per turn, so make it count. You might not always use your full range of movement, but it's a very use it or lose it kind of scenario. How do I see how many points I have? Movement points I have? Good question. You can see all sorts of useful things by selecting a unit and checking their status. For instance, if we check your status, we can see you have a movement of 5. Yup, there it is. Meaning every turn you can travel 5 tiles of distance. Let's try it. Mandy, move to this position, 5 tiles away. It seems awful close to the savage beast, Leona. It's fine. The savage beast has really bad cataracts, so he won't see you there. Gosh, okay. See, he didn't attack you. Now, attack him. What? Why? Because I've got to teach the player how to do this or they will yell at me. Now attack! How? When you are within the range of an enemy you can attack, you will see the attack option. This only appears when you are within range of an enemy you can attack. Huh, I clicked it and a new menu came up. Perfect. This menu is very important. In Immortal Saga, units can carry multiple weapons, like Fire Emblem, right? When you attack an enemy, you have to select whatever weapon is the most appropriate for the situation. For example, currently you have 2 weapons on you. The top weapon is the one you currently have equipped. Your equipped weapon is the one you attack with, but also the one that gets used if an enemy attacks you during your turn. Right now, you're equipped with your unique weapon, Greased Lightning. Let's break down what each of these stats mean. Number 40 indicates how many times you hit an enemy before it breaks. That's right, in Immortal Saga, weapons will break when their durability reaches 0. Again, like Fire Emblem. There are many powerful weapons in Immortal Saga, but eventually they will break. So it's up to you to decide when you need to bring out the big guns. And we've got attack. I'm not going to read all this out loud because I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit from recording. So you'll just have to follow along with me after this. It seems like this is going to go on for a while. I do like that they're not just saying this is what it does, but they're also explaining the mathematics behind how damage and evasion and things like that work. So good on you, developer, for going that extra step, because a lot of game developers will not explain that stuff. I didn't understand any of that. Don't worry, I didn't expect you to. Okay. Time to attack. Ah, here I go. Ooh. Very nice. Nice dodge, Mandy. You may have noticed you attacked twice during that battle. That's because your speed stat was at least 4 points higher than your opponent's. Okay, so that ate up a good chunk of time, but that's okay. Because that was very thorough, and it is definitely very much inspired by the games that came before it, and that's okay. And I will say I did like the little attack animations. I like the characters and the monsters and the little attack animations that they had. Largest of the five is the Silverhawk Empire. Kalano, ruled by Emperor Augustine for the past 40 years, is a land steeped in tradition. Covering the southern lands is the scholastic nation of Zerero. It is here mages and priests, spelling error, from all over the continent, not being a spelling police, I'm just pointing it out to you, and priests from all over the continent go to study their magical arts. Ever since the great library of Telia was built, it has been ruled by a trio of archmages, each a master of particular study of magic, very large strangers. Lands of the West is the forest of Fruit Artane, which means the silent dream in the tongue of the Eloan who lived there. The Eloan, that's so interesting. I gotta look up that word and see what it means, because I actually made my own indie game, my first indie game release. There are like deities called Elohim, E-L-O-I-N. So, very similar there. They seldom let, and I don't know how I picked that. I started working on the game like 6 years ago, and I really can't remember where I got the word from, so I need to look that up if you're using a similar word, just to find out what the root is. But that doesn't have anything to do with this. So, King Nativity, or also known as the Beast King. Alba, Pirate Queen, Tobin, Hydernity. Okay. Marquis von Snatch. Are you sure you wish to go through with this plan, my child? It is a dangerous endeavor. I am, Father. The Queen takes more and more soldiers every month. Small folk have no one to defend them these days. Yeah. Leona and Rosie with me. True. My lord. My lord. Very nice. Very nice. I like it. Oh my gosh, I was so nervous. You did it, Mandy. Dads are off limits, as you keep telling me. Excuse me, Lady Mandy. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Nice to meet you, Alexander. My father's Agent Cretus. Yes, actually, I'm to assist you in information gathering. I've only got 5 minutes left, so no offense to the dev. I do like story, but I'm gonna skip because I want to. Oh. I pressed escape and it exited the whole game again. That happened before when I was in the menu. Thankfully, I had just saved. There we go. Okay. The village of Dolly. Wow, somebody made it just in the nick of time. Oh, those guys don't like fancy to me. Look, they're fancy swords. That one even has a horse. If we take care of him, the rest should flee. Okay. Okay, there we go. You see that house just over there? Well, that seems a bit upsetting. Wait. Okay, well, guess I did that. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Uh-oh. Okay, so there we go. Having a little bit of difficulty with some of this stuff, but that's okay. I don't know what just happened here. So I appear to have lost a character, and I don't know how that happened. It wasn't in the tutorial. I rescued her, and now she's just gone. Oh, completely annihilated. Okay. Very nice. Oh no! Well, I reckon go here. And I reckon you can go here and attack this fella. Is that it? Did I do it? Okay. Oh, she almost dead. Well, this might be the end for Lord Mandy. These guys are tough. Well. Okay. Okay. Kill him! Very nice. Oh, she nearly died. We got her straight, y'all. She's gonna hang back for the rest of this mission. And you are gonna here. Here. Oh wait, no you won't. You are gonna come here. Boom. Boom. You'd think that the horse guy would be twice as fast as the person on foot, but that's not the case. Alrighty. So, I'm gonna exit this out, and I'm gonna open it one more time because I want to check something. I ran into an issue here. Okay, so you do have your controls in here. They're on the they're rudimentary controls, but there are controls in here on a notepad document. It's not saved like a notepad. It's saved as something else. It's listed as configuration settings. So I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what this is. Let me see. Config. Okay. So that's not there. Okay. So, I like this. I don't normally go in for this type of game because they do tend to reach in my experience, they tend to reach a certain point where they it's almost like a quest for perfection. Like if you mess up one little thing, you lose a character permanently. Somebody dies, you miss out on stuff. It takes a long time to get back to that point in the story. If you miss a side thing, it's just it was, you know, those games always felt like a big time sink to me. So I never really played a lot of them. When I was younger, I played, Bahamut Lagoon. I played Advance Wars. There was not, and a little bit of Fire Emblem, and that was really it. That being said, that doesn't mean I can't say that this is a good game. It seems to be a good game. Now, I didn't get to play a whole lot of it because I was doing the tutorial, and then I was reading the intro stuff. But it did seem to function fairly well. It seemed to do all the things I thought it was going to do. I will say that even though the tutorial did a good job of explaining how the stats work and how certain actions work, the tutorial did not give the player the opportunity to mess around with the buttons and the interface itself. So even though I spent a good 7 minutes watching the tutorial, the game interface was still confusing to me, which is why you saw me accidentally exit. You saw me accidentally rescue my unit, like basically jumped into her arms and she carried me, that kind of thing. So I would suggest that in the future, if you can, um, consider having the tutorial be something where you can actually do some of the controls. Um, because that was the main thing that I wanted to actually be able to practice like moving and to see what all the different options were and things like that, not just say have somebody tell me, well, this is how weapons work, this is how stats work. That stuff is useful. Now, I will say, not saying that you did a bad job on that. And I liked the dialogue. I actually liked the back and forth. It made me smile. It was amusing when it was meant to be amusing. I thought the dialogue was well written. I thought that what you did give in the tutorial was helpful. However, it was a bit intimidating to be thrown in a fight where essentially it was like 3 versus 12 or however many it was. And then in the second round, more enemies start showing up, and those enemies are super strong. And I don't know how to move. I wasted a turn combining my units. So I would say just consider that. Like, consider having that kind of move thing. The other thing I would say consider is put something in where when you hit escape, it says, would you like to exit the game? Yes or no. Unsaved progress will be lost. Because for me, my instinctive thought was that escape would basically be like a back. Because if you want to just hard shut down the game, you've got Alt F4, right? So you don't need a separate button that just instantly closes the game, doesn't save your progress, doesn't ask you for, are you sure you want to do this? And it was a little jarring. It happened when I first started the video. I was in the configuration menu and I hit escape and I was like, oh, whoa. I had to reload the whole game, and then I got into that little bit where I saved my file, and then I'm like, all right, my game is saved. It's time to back out of this screen so I can progress. I hit escape and I just shut off the whole thing without it giving me any kind of confirmation or anything. So definitely consider, if you want escape to be close the game, put something in there that's like, are you sure you want to close the game? Because that's something that even when I knew that that's what it was going to do, I still found myself wanting to do it, and I had to think, wait, no, hit right click. And I could see how players might get upset if they're like in the middle of a battle, or they haven't saved their game in a while, and then all of a sudden they're rushing to exit out of something and they hit escape just from muscle memory from playing other games like this, and then they lose all their progress. I could see how that would be a little upsetting for people. But I'm sure if I played a little bit more, I might be able to come up with some more helpful suggestions on the actual gameplay. But what I will say is that this very much is reminiscent of Fire Emblem, which is what you were going for. And I felt, even though I haven't played Fire Emblem in many years, I felt comfortable understanding how the units interact, how the weapon types interact. All of that stuff came back to me very quickly. It felt like you understand how that's supposed to work. I liked the music. I liked the visuals. I actually liked the overworld map. I was looking at it and I'm like, it's not quite Game Boy Advance, and it's not quite Nintendo, but it's not quite Super Nintendo either. Which is interesting, because when you've played as many video games as I have over the years, you tend to be able to look at something and say, okay, this is a that era graphics, or this is that era, that system graphics. And this one really kind of defies that convention. So I guess you could say it's, early PC era graphics. I don't know. But it looks good. It's very simple, but it's also very clear what I'm looking at. Everything about it was very, you did a lot with the little with the little characters and everything. I could tell what everybody was, what classes they were, what weapons they had, all of that jazz. It looks great. The music is good, so I see you have a special thanks here to Steve Mariani, who made music for the game. Great job, Steve Mariani. The music is good. Sound effects are good. The little combat animations are good. I don't dislike anything about the actual gameplay I got to see, which, to be fair, was only like 4 rounds of combat. My major thing is, I would say that the tutorial being as long as it is, and you don't get a chance to actually practice any of the controls, and that the controls are not in the menu, which again, you expect escape to be like a back out or a pause button, so the fact that escape is not pause, it's in the game forever. Those are really the only things that I had as criticisms right now. Now, because this is the first 15, I am giving you my impression based on the first 15 minutes of the game, right? So, based on my first 15 minutes of the game, I'm going to say this is a good game. You know what you're doing. Seems like you know the genre well. Wasn't enough there that I got to play to say it's phenomenal. But it's a good game. It's in my good games collection. I'm going to follow Star Mongoose. And I'm going to rate this 4 stars. Because I didn't really see anything to hate about the game itself. There was just a couple of little weird things, like I said, mechanically that I could see might be upsetting. But the other thing I would like to do, and this is going to be up to the developer, submitting this now, is I would like to let this stew for a while and get developed a little bit more, and if it's all right with the developer in the future, I think I might like to do a longer playthrough of this. And the only reason I'm saying it the way I'm saying it is because I don't want the developer, you know, obviously this that I'm doing now is it's an unsolicited video, right? I'm gonna play this game for 15 minutes and let you know what I think. You didn't ask me to do that. You didn't ask for my input. So I'm not going to just, do a full playthrough. As a rule, I don't like doing full playthroughs because I don't want to spoil the game for people. But in this case, because I didn't really get to play a whole lot of it, if it's all right with you, developer, I would like to be able to come back and do more of this and maybe play it for like an hour and put a video up. If that's all right with you, shoot me a message on YouTube when this video pops up. Say something in the comments down below. I didn't pay you for this now because I only intended to play 15 minutes of it. But if it's all right with you, I am gonna actually, give you money to be able to play this longer, because as a rule, I don't believe that it's fair to play a significant portion of someone else's work and put it out there if you're not going to pay them for it. That's one of the reasons I limit these to 15-minute reviews. The fact that this is the first time I'll say I've done about 40 of these videos. This is the first time that I've made this request to the developer. So I would say anybody who's watching this, take that as a good sign that as somebody that generally doesn't enjoy this type of game and hasn't played this type of game in a long time, I played the actual game for 5 minutes and I'm asking the developer's permission to play it more. And if I get into it more and I say, you know what, this game is actually just perfect in every way, I will update my review and, all of that stuff as well. So that's all I'm going to say about that, developer. Thank you very much for your hard work so far. It's obvious that you've put a lot of work into this. It's obvious that you are very passionate about this project. Thank you, everyone out there, for watching. If you want to support the developer just based on what you've seen here, good on you. A link to the game is going to be in the description down below. And be sure to check out all of my other first 15 videos here on YouTube, dropping every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you see any other games in the collection that interest you, descriptions will be in there for those games as well. Go in, drop a follow, give some support to the developers, because indie game developers need all the support they can get. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Not going to ramble anymore. Till next time, stay healthy, stay safe out there, y'all. Later.